Hi, my name's Mark and I write the cake blog howtomakecakes.co.uk. Today we're going to make a carrot cake with a cream cheese topping. Full details of the recipe will be on my blog howtomakecakes.co.uk. So the ingredients we need for today's carrot cake are 250 grams of grated carrot, 225 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of light brown sugar, 150 grams of caster sugar. Then our fat in a carrot cake is vegetable oil. We have 300 millilitres of vegetable oil, 4 eggs, 75 grams of raisins. We're going to have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then here we have a little pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. So there's quite a lot of ingredients in the cake today. So the first thing we're going to do is just beat together the eggs, the oil and the sugar. So we'll put those all into the bowl. There always does seem a lot of oil in it, carrot cake, but you have to remember there's no butter or anything in it. This is the only fat that you're using. So in there goes the 2 sugars as well. And then we're going to mix that together. So once that's mixed together, we just add in the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. It doesn't look very appetizing at this point, but it will look nicer as we go through the recipe. So just put in your 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and give that a quick whiz to mix it in. So once we've mixed that in, what we're going to do next is add in all of the dry ingredients other than the carrots and the raisins. So we've got the flour, the bicarbonate of soda, the baking powder, the cinnamon and the salt. And that can all just go in the sieve and all go into the mixture. So just sieve that through. And then we'll mix that all in. So once that's fully mixed in, I'm just going to take this off and then we mix in the carrots and the raisins. So if you've used a mixer like this, you'll just need to whisk around and make sure everything's mixed in together. And then just stir in what does appear to be a lot of carrot, but it all sort of melts down in the cooking process. So stir that in, add in your raisins. Now some recipes might use pecan nuts or walnuts, and that's just up to individual taste. Personally, I prefer a carrot cake just with some raisins in, and I don't put the nuts in, but that's up to you. If you wanted to put them in, I'd say about 50 to 75 grams of nuts as well. Stir that all in, and then that's your carrot cake mixture done. So the tin I've got for this is a square sort of tray bake tin. This is a 9" by 13" tin. Anything around this size is good. Some people make round cakes. I quite like carrot cakes in this kind of tin. A sheet of greaseproof paper on the bottom, and then just pour the mixture in. It will seem to fill it quite high, but a carrot cake doesn't rise that much, so it's fine. Put it all in and level it out. Just shake the tin until everything's level. Oven should be at 180 degrees centigrade. As I always say, if the oven's got a fan setting, avoid using the fan setting. Just the regular setting is better for cakes. So when it's done, put this in the oven and it should bake for about 35 minutes. So after 35 minutes, just check the cake. If it's cooked, it should be a little bit springy on the top, and if you just put a cake tester or a toothpick in or something, it should come out clean like that has. So this one's ready. So we'll take it out of the oven. And this, I'm just going to leave it to cool for about 10 minutes in the tray, and then I'll turn it out onto the wire rack. So once you've let it cool for about 10 minutes, just loosen the edge of the cake with a knife and turn it out onto a wire tray. So I've just loosened that, so hopefully we'll turn it upside down and the cake will come out. There we are. Take your greaseproof paper off the bottom. And we've got one nice looking carrot cake. So we just need to let it cool and then we'll put the cream cheese frosting on the top. So once the cake is cooled, I've just turned mine off of the wire rack onto a board so that we'll cover the bit that has the lines from the rack on it. So we're going to make a cream cheese frosting. This is a mix between cream cheese and buttercream, which I think is nicer. So we use 450 grams of icing sugar. We've got 190 grams of cream cheese. You can use the full fat cream cheese or the lower fat cream cheese. 75 grams of butter, unsalted butter that's softened to room temperature. And then I'm just going to put in a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup, because I think that adds to the taste. So the first thing we do, sieve all of the icing sugar into the bowl, and we're just going to mix that with the butter initially. So once you've sieved the sugar in, just add the butter first and give that a mix, and then we'll add the cream cheese. It just helps the butter mix in properly. So just do this on a slow speed to mix it in. So once that's started to mix in a bit, I just add the cream cheese a bit at a time, and it just helps it all combine slowly together. So once that starts to come together, which it is doing now, just add a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup, which just adds a bit of flavour to the cream cheese topping. If you don't like the taste of maple syrup, this isn't essential, it's just I think it adds to the taste. Mix that in, beat it a little bit, and then finish it by hand. Just want to ensure that everything's fully mixed together. Should be nice and thick so it can be spread on the top. So once it's all mixed together, just put it on the top, generous amounts of the topping, and I just spread it over with a palette knife. So then just get a palette knife, spread it across the whole cake, going right to the edge. As you can see, it's nice and smooth. If you make sure you sieve the icing sugar properly, it goes to a nice smooth cream topping. So once you put all the topping on the top, spread it like that, you've got your carrot cake finished. So don't forget, the full recipe is available on my blog, which is www.howtomakecakes.co.uk.